Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's Sunday. I want to do a little study group for warriors. If you're interested in life coaching or mentoring, go check out my website at skyazrael.com. Every Sunday I do a little study group for my hardcore warriors, guys who might need a little bit of extra study, extra lesson for today. I study like this every day, 7 days a week. I'm all about mind, body, and soul. This is warrior training, a warrior's program. I didn't invent it, I promote it. It's been around for thousands and thousands of years because it works. Let's just get into it. I got a lot to talk about. The first thing I wrote down that I wanted to unpack for us is kind of a generic quote, but let's get into it. Stop trying to fit in. I'm sure you've heard that before. Stop trying to fit in. Be an individual. Being an individual means that you don't try to fit in with others, with the group. It means that you're willing to stand on your convictions. And that's what individuality really is about. It's not so much about your style or fashion or what kind of car you drive or what the corporate logo is on your baseball cap or your hoodie. People think that those kind of basic things are what defines them. I like yellow and I like dolphins and I drive a pink Prius. That doesn't really define you. It's your convictions, not so much your choices. And people think that their collection of choices defines them as an individual, but you could fill a stadium with people that choose the same crap as you. You think you're an individual because your favorite color is red. You think you're an individual because you happen to like this song or that song. Look how many views are on that YouTube video. It's got 45 million views. Trust me, you're not the only person who likes that song. You're not the only person where that one line speaks to. It speaks to everybody. It's your convictions, your beliefs, the stuff that you plant your flag on and you say, this is what I'm about, and I don't care what you fucking say. You don't like me for it? Fuck you. You don't believe in it? Who cares? This is what I'm about. Stand on your convictions. Be firm in what you believe. Stop being so wishy-washy. There's so many people that they'll kind of float with the wind like butterflies. They go whatever direction the wind blows. People like that can't be trusted. There's certain types of people that will literally bend to your point of view just to fit in with you. They could say that they like a certain type of politics when they don't really believe in it, but they're just trying to fit in, trying to avoid conflict, trying to be accepted, whatever it is, combination of them. People you can do this across the board with your whole life, and next thing you know, you've bought into beliefs, a lifestyle, and a mindset that isn't really truly you. And this is where a lot of people's source of unhappiness comes from, where they spend a lot of time in their lives just unhappy, not understanding what life's about, feeling lost. That sense of lost, that lost feeling that you have is your separation from yourself. You need to find yourself. Find that hill of your beliefs, of the collection of the stuff that you are into, that you are about, that you call you, and be all about that shit. Let's go on to the next one. I can talk about each one of these things for an hour. Each one of these things is a video. I'm giving you 6 videos in one day, in 15 minutes, 14 minutes. I'll see how long we go. Society drowns in conformity. It's funny because conformity kills culture. Conformity kills empires. It kills nations. We need diversity. We need uniqueness. We need individuality. We can't all conform into the same person with the same beliefs. We can't all be Democrats. We're all Republicans. We can't all be one gender. Right? I mean, we have to have differences. And if you all conform to the same thing, this society that we think is so great, or at least that some of us do, it ends. Democracy is founded upon debate, differences, inequalities. People spend a lot of time thinking that inequality is suffering and wanting to get rid of inequality. Diversity is inequality. We're not all the same, and that's not suffering. I could stay on each one of these for a long time. I want to. Let's move on. This may sound religious. I'm not here to promote Christianity, but let's just get into it. Without God, society dies. Let me put it another way. Without God, a culture turns bad, rots. The way I look at it is like this. We have too many bosses. Too many of you motherfuckers out there are identifying as a boss when you should be identifying as a servant. A good king, a powerful good king. We're not talking about an evil king. A good king has a self-image, an identity of servitude. A good king is here to serve his people. That's the whole point of his job. Why is he sitting on that throne? To tax us? To brutalize us? To bully us? No, to serve us. People who don't understand leadership, that think leadership is just about power, they don't even get what I'm talking about right now. Because they may see themselves as a boss. There's people that have gotten lost in this boss mentality. There's so many people that feel emasculated at work, emasculated in their social group. They feel like little weak, little beta males. And then they come home and maybe they're the boss of their family. And maybe you should be the boss of your family. But if you're the boss of everything, you have no God. You may be one of these tyrannical fathers, dictator. There's a lot of fathers that are evil dictators. Those are terrible fathers. A good king serves. A good king is a servant. A public servant. Someone who helps. If you put yourself as God, as the boss, you turn evil. You lose your mind. You become a dick. I've never met a strong man, an alpha, a true dominant man, a leader, someone you look up to, a hero. I've never met one of those people who was godless. Never. Never once have I ever met an atheist who was a powerful king. And I'm not here to preach religion. I don't care what you read or what you follow. But if you think that you're the ruler of the world, if you think that you're God, if you're playing a little dictator, oh, you got it wrong, son. Let's go to the next one. This also may sound religious, but I'm not trying to preach religion. I just think some of this is interesting. This is a fascinating statement that I really thought was worth getting into. So I wrote it down so I could think about it. Maybe you guys want to think about it too. Moses never made it to the promised land. That's an interesting statement. Moses never made it to the promised land. Right? He traveled through the desert with the Israelites for what, 40 years, something like that? I'm not an expert in the Bible. And like I said, I'm not here to preach Christianity. I think this is valuable for our lives. I don't care what religion you are, what faith you are. You be a Buddhist, a Taoist, a Jainist. Do you know about those motherfuckers? And Jainists they're out there, man. They won't even step on a bug. Moses made it to Mount Nebo, where he saw the promised land from Mount Nebo, and he died at Mount Nebo. Mount Nebo is in Jordan. It's where the Jordan River flows into I believe it's the Sea of Galilee. I've been there. I've been to Mount Nebo. Mount Nebo is a holy spot. It's a very interesting spot because it's also where St. Francis, the Franciscan monks, where they have a church, and it's still there, and it's 1,000, 2,000 years old, whatever it is, whenever St. Francis lived. And it's an old motherfucking church. It's a fascinating sight. But you can stand right where Moses stood and look out over the promised land. See what you have been desiring, what you've been working towards, suffering towards for the last 40 years, and there it is. But he never made it. Does that mean that the whole journey was useless? What's the fucking point? You didn't even fucking make it. You're a loser, right? But it's a story that we can identify with. That's the interesting thing about the Bible and about many religious texts. Go read the Bhagavad Gita if you want an interesting religious text. The story is something that we all play out in our lives, where we strive towards a goal, any goal, a big goal. Your goal should be big. And the reality is, and I realize this for myself, that I may not get there. I try hard. I'm struggling my ass off to be a better person, to be successful, to get from point A to point B. And my point B is far from point A. I may never get there. Does that mean it's all useless? It's all worthless? See, let me take it from a different angle. A biker understands the meaning of life. Go buy a motorcycle, and you too will understand the meaning of life. It's about the journey, not the destination. Every biker knows this. It's about the journey. Who cares about the destination? The destination doesn't really matter as much. We all choose a destination where you want to ride to, but it doesn't really matter. I just like the ride. I didn't buy a motorcycle so I could get to the coffee shop. I just like the ride to the coffee shop. I can make coffee at home. So don't worry so much about the promised land. Enjoy the journey along the way. Enjoy the ride. I got a few more I wanted to talk about, but we're running out of time. I don't like to make these videos too long because then nobody watches them. Have a good Sunday, guys.